Welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market Garden Life, where today we're talking about this lovely specimen here. Now, for those of you who saw the last episode, you're looking at it going, wait, what is that? Aside from a mischief sighting over there, he's being cheeky today. Isn't that right, mischief? Anyway, this plant is Achillea x lewisii King Edward, or King Edward Yarrow for short. And this plant is on the list, despite it being a mo different Yarrow, because a certain viewer, npsinboro, said, hey, cover some ground covers. And I thought, oh, you want some ground covers, do you? Time for a curveball. Whoosh! Yes, that's right. This is a curveball. This is a ground cover Yarrow. It's still in the Asteraceae family, and Achillea still refers to Achilles of Greek myth. However, the X lewisii, X meaning a cross between another plant by either someone named Lewisii or the other plant that is crossed from Millefolium is crossed with the Lewisii strain, is how we got this. Now, this is a dwarf Yarrow. I don't know if it's medicinally valid, but I'm pretty sure it still produces essential oils. Now, it is again, it's not native to anywhere because it's a man-made cross, but as you can see what it's doing in this pot, this is like one plant that is slowly filling the pot, and it's with fluffy goodness. I mean, look at it. Look at it. Let's zoom in. Look at it. Look at that fluff. There's only one other plant in the entire botanical universe that looks this fluffy on a regular basis, and that's Santolina. And we are going to talk about Santolina later in this season. I know we covered it in like the first season, but we're coming back to it because new discoveries. Now let's zoom back out. All right. So it is hardy in USDA zones 3A through 9A. It is a perennial evergreen. Okay. It's actually got a longer range than traditional Yarrow, which is a bonus because traditional Yarrow kind of stops in zone 8. I believe it is. Yeah, 4 through 8. So this one has slightly more reach, which is a bonus for you Yarrow fans out there. Its pH preference is 4.5 to 8.5, which is a better pH range than its cousin that we covered in the prior video. Its exposure is flat out full sun. Okay, so that means 6 to 8 hours of sun a day, preferably 8 or more. Okay. Its height will be 6 to 8 inches, which this is about 3. These are the flower buds, by the way. It's starting to pop, and I'm loving it. So, yeah, its width can be 8 to 10 inches, which, I mean, it's filling this pot out nicely, and this pot is an 8-incher, I believe, so it may be dripping over the sides. It might look like a big old frothy Yarrow. It doesn't have any AKA names, so it's just King Edward Yarrow. Interestingly enough, it tolerates light foot traffic, but it's classified as slow-growing since it is a dwarf selection. It's bred for the miniature leaves and the miniature flowers, and so it is a true ground cover in that, you can use it in that role. But, obviously, I wouldn't put this in a section of the path where people are going to be stomping, especially not where kids are coming through, because, kids tear up everything. But it is also just as drought tolerant as its Yarrow cousin. Now the difference here is these flowers, in this case, instead of the other one where it's flower burst shades red or whatever red adjective they use there, in this particular case the flowers come out a sort of creamy yellow, which is closer to the Yarrow origin, which is kind of nice. I mean, it's still an aster, so it's going to bring in pollinators. But it's low to the ground, so it'll feed possibly a different group. Now, of course, if it's full of flowers, obviously putting it in a spot where people lightly traffic through it could be asking for trouble because, I don't know about you, but stepping on a honeybee or whatever is not high on my to-do list. So, as a ground cover, I would use it somewhere where there isn't actual ground traffic. Or foot traffic, I should say. Now, in general, this plant, again, is a rescue from the Blow's distressed plant rack. There was nothing wrong with it. Just its entire batch, I guess, had stopped blooming and they were no longer interested, or they got new plants and wanted to get rid of it. I mean, so short-sighted, am I right? Their loss, Argane. Bam. But anyway, that is King Edward Yarrow for you in a nutshell. And the ground cover stuff has started specifically because npsinboro requested it, and you're going to see more of it this season. So stay tuned. The next episode's going to be a doozy, I assure you. It has just begun. So, if you have any thoughts on Groundcover Yarrow or Yarrow in general, please put them in the comments section. If you like this video, please hit like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps the channel. In the description, you will see a link to the forage blog, which covers wild plants that you can eat. And beyond that, as always, folks, keep them growing. Thanks for watching.